thou seest on Judgment Day, and so thou see it. Then I wrote, in the character Nask, when to sore parting fate our love shall doom to distant life by destiny decreed, we cause the inkhorn's lips to blame our pains, and tongue our utterance with the talking reed. And I wrote, in the Tumar character, kingdom with none endures, if thou deny this truth, where be the kings of earlier earth, set trees of goodliness while rule endures, and when thou art fallen, they shall tell thy worth. And I wrote, in the character Muak, when oped the inkhorn of thy wealth and fame, take ink of generous heart and gracious hand, write brave and noble deeds while write thou can, and when thee praise from point of pen and brand. Then I gave the scroll to the officials, and after we all had written our line, they carried it before the king. When he saw the paper, no writing pleased him save my writing, and he said to the assembled courtiers, go seek the writer of these lines, and dress him in a splendid robe of honor. Then mount him on a she-mule, let a band of music precede him, and bring him to the presence. At these words they smiled, and the king was wroth with them and cried, O accursed! I give you an order, and you laugh at me. O king, replied they, if we laugh, 'tis not at thee, and not without a cause. And what is it? Asked he, and they answered, O king, thou orderest us to bring to thy presence the man who wrote these lines. Now the truth is that he who wrote them is not of the sons of Adam, but an ape, a tailless baboon belonging to the ship captain. Quoth he, is it true that you say? Quoth they, yes, by the rights of thy munificence. The king marveled at their words, and shook with mirth, and said, I am minded to buy this ape of the captain. Then he sent messengers to the ship with the mule, the dress, the guard, and the state drum, saying, not the less do you clothe him in the robe of honor, and mount him on the mule, and let him be surrounded by the guards, and preceded by the band of music. They came to the ship, and took me from the captain, and robed me in the robe of honor, and mounting me on the she-mule, carried me in state procession through the streets, whilst the people were amazed and amused. And folks said to one another, hello, is our sultan about to make an ape his minister? And came all agog crowding to gaze at me, and the town was astir and turned topsy-turvy on my account. When they brought me up to the king and set me in his presence, I kissed the ground before him 3 times, and once before the high chamberlain and great officers, and he bade me be seated. And I sat respectfully on shins and knees, and all who were present marveled at my fine manners, and the king most of all. Thereupon he ordered the lieges to retire, and when none remained save the king's majesty, the eunuch on duty, and a little white slave, he bade them set before me the table of food containing all manner of birds, whatever hoppeth and flieth and treadeth in nest, such as quail and sand grouse, marvels that my wits amate. Then woke I sleeping appetite, to eat as though in sport, sweets from trays and kickshaws most elaborate. Be patient, soul of me, time is haughty, jealous wit. Today he seems dark lowering, and tomorrow fair to sight. Then I rose and seated myself at a respectful distance while the king read what I had written and marveled, exclaiming, "Oh, the miracle! That an ape should be gifted with this graceful style and this power of penmanship. By Allah, it is a wonder of wonders." Presently they set before the king choice wines in glasses, and he drank. Then he passed on the cup to me, and I kissed the ground and drank, and wrote on it. With fire they boiled me to lose my tongue, and pain and patience gave for fellowship. Hence comes at hands of men, bear me high, and honeydew from lips of maid I sip, and these also. Morn saith to night withdraw, and let me shine. So drain we draughts that dull all pain and pine. I doubt so fine the glass, the wine so clear, if 'tis the wine and glass, or glass and wine. The king read my verse and said with a sigh, were these gifts in a man, he would excel all the folk of his time and age. Then he called for the chessboard and said, say, wilt thou play with me? And I signed with my head yes. Then I came forward and ordered the pieces and played with him 2 games, both of which I won. He was speechless with surprise, so I took the pen case and drawing forth a reed, wrote on the board these 2 couplets. 2 hosts fair fighting through the livelong day, nor is their battling ever finished, until when darkness girdeth them about, the twain go sleeping in a single bed. The king read these lines with wonder and delight, and said to his eunuch, O Mukbil, go to thine mistress, and say her, come speak the king who biddeth thee hither to take thy solace in seeing this white wondrous ape. So the eunuch went out and presently returned with the lady, who when she saw me veiled her face and said, O my father, hast thou lost all sense of honor? How cometh it thou art pleased to send for me, and show me to strange men? Said he, no man is here save this little foot page, and the eunuch who reared thee and I thy father. From whom then dost thou veil thy face? She answered. This whom thou deemest an ape is a young man, a clever and polite, a wise and learned, and the son of a king. But he is ensorcelled, and the Ifrit, Dirjaris, who is of the seed of Iblis, cast a spell upon him after putting to death his own wife, the daughter of King Iphidamus, lord of the islands of Abnus. The king marveled at his daughter's words, and turning to me said, is this true that she saith of thee? And I signed by a nod of my head the answer, yea, verily, and wept sore. Then he asked his daughter, whence knewest thou that he is ensorcelled? And she answered, O my dear papa, there was with me in my childhood an old woman, a wily one, and a wise, and a witch to boot, and she taught me the theory of magic and its practice. And I took notes in writing, and therein waxed perfect. And I have committed to memory 170 chapters of agromantic formulas, by the least of which I could transport the stones of thy city behind the mountain Gav, or make it sight an abyss of the sea, and its people fishes swimming in the midst of it. O my daughter, said her father, I conjure thee by my life, disenchant this young man, and I may make him my wazir, and marry thee to him. For indeed he is an ingenious youth, and a deeply learned. With joy and goodly gree she replied, gracious king, that the calendar continued his tale thus. O my lady, the king's daughter, hand in hand, a knife whereon were inscribed Hebrew characters, and described a wide circle in the midst of the palace hall, and therein wrote, in letters mysterious names and talismans. And she uttered words and muttered charms, some of which we understood, and others we understood not. Presently the world waxed dark before our sight, till we thought that the sky was falling upon our heads, and lo, the Ifrit presented himself in his own shape and aspect. His hands were like many pronged pitchforks, his legs like the masts of great ships, and his eyes like cressets of gleaming fire. We were in terrible fear of him, but the king's daughter cried at him, No welcome to thee, and no greeting, O dog. Whereupon he changed to the form of a lion, and said, O Tatris, how is it thou hast broken the oath we swear that neither should contraire other? O accursed one, answered she, how could there be a compact between me and the like of thee? Then said he, Take what thou hast brought on thyself. And the lion opened his jaws and rushed upon her. But she was too quick for him, and plucking a hair from her head, waved it in the air, muttering over it the while. And the hair straightway became a trenchant sword blade, wherewith she smote the lion, and cut him in twain. Then the two halves flew away in air, and the head changed to a scorpion, and the princess became a huge serpent, and set upon the accursed scorpion, and the two fought, coiling and uncoiling, a stiff fight for an hour at least. Then the scorpion changed to a vulture, and the serpent became an eagle, which sat upon the vulture, and hunted him for an hour's time till he became a black tomcat, which mauled and grinned and spat. Thereupon the eagle changed into a piebald wolf, and these two battled in the palace for a long time, when the cat, seeing himself overcome, changed into a worm and crept into a huge red pomegranate, which lay beside the jetting fountain in the midst of the palace hall. Whereupon the pomegranate swelled to the size of a watermelon in air, and falling upon the marble pavement of the palace broke to pieces, and all the grains fell out and were scattered about till they covered the whole floor. Then the wolf shook himself and became a snow-white rooster, which fell to picking up the grains, purposing not to leave one, but by doom of destiny one seed rolled to the fountain edge, and there lay hid. The rooster fell to crowing and clapping his wings and singing to us with his beak as if to ask, Are any grains left? But we understood